FM.
Come, build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers. We don't just sell materials, we help you build your dreams. Whether it's a new home, a renovation, or a DIY project, we're here to make it happen. That's why we say, build with us. From foundation to finish, come to our stores where we have the best in building materials, hardware, tools, paints, expert advice, and more. Whatever you need, you can count on us. So if you're ready to get started, build with us. With Hostels Building and Nevis Centers, you're not just building a structure, you're building a future. Let us help you create something amazing. Dream with us, plan with us, grow with us, build with us. Come build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers today. Build with us at Hostels.
Basta! We run things, things are on we. Basta! Basta! Living color, do it differently. Basta! Basta! Lads and in charge, like for the party. Basta! Basta! We set the pace, then everybody follow it.
7 flavors, best taste. Basta! Bolder, better, better. Pick your color.
We set the pace, then everybody follow it.
Basta! Live in full color.
Basta!
Seize the day with a summer loan from TDC Financial Services. Whether it's vacation, home upgrades, back to school prep, or even a little treat for yourself, borrow up to $65,000 unsecured with low rates and flexible terms. Apply today at TDC Financial Services, Central Street, St. Kitts, or Main Street, Charlestown, Nevis. Don't miss the sunshine. Let your summer plans sail smoothly with TDC Financial Services, where money is made easy.
Welcome to Island Tea with your faves. Keep it locked in with us for your daily dose of hot tea only on Win Media 98.9.
Good morning to the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. Good morning to the regional and international diaspora. A good morning to you. Just about 8 minutes after the hour of 8 as we begin our Island Tea program. Today, it's the 3rd day of July 2025. Whether you're celebrating a birth, an anniversary, your graduation, passing your exams, whatever you're celebrating today, just remember to be grateful, be thankful, celebrate, hearty. And for those of you who are mourning, condolences here from myself and the entire team at WinFM. I wasn't here yesterday morning, but every morning I hear the fire truck quint, I am like, what's up? This morning I heard the fire truck again whilst I was getting ready, and then I see there was an accident on the Kim Collins Highway, a 2-car accident. One is all the way in the bushes, one is outside. They're both damaged. A post is downed, broken from the rest of itself.
And apparently yesterday there was an accident with a bus. And
yeah, right there at Borio. I saw something about tragic, but I never got back to it. I was hoping it wasn't tragic as the report stated. I hope it was the person got out of the car safely. They're being hospitalized. I just hope no one lost their lives. And then we had another fender bender this morning along the Wellington Road area. So folks, let's be careful. Our car population is bigger than our human population. I know we're all needing to get to work, but as I say all the time, and as Biff Mills admonishes you before I come on, take your time. Just apologize for being late and try not to be late again. There's no need to rush. Sometimes rushing leads you to the destination you do not want to be at. So just let's take our time. Let's watch the road. I see somebody said, oh, a lot of people are getting license. This has nothing to do with license. When you get license, you got your license because the police officer taught you were responsible enough to be on the road. So this has nothing to do with people. A lot of people getting licensed. We just have to drive carefully. Yesterday, I was making my way up the Timothy Hill area where a lot of pedestrians, we use it to exercise in the afternoon. Yes, I'm going to enunciate. And there is a bus. I didn't get the number. He just decides he's going to pass a car on the turn. Y'all are doing a lot of nonsense on that road. The other day, a truck comes pelting around with the path behind of it. Like, yeah. I'm like, what's that? Like, people use the road to exit. All of us need to use the road. What are y'all doing? What's the rush? People have lives. People are expected back home. I'm tired of asking and begging and pleading. Stop doing nonsense on the road. Stop. The road is not yours alone. Wherever you're trying to get to, you will get there. Take your time. Apologize for being late. Nobody ever killed anybody for being late, but you can kill somebody because you think you're late. How about that? Please, we all use the road for whatever reason. Let us use it wisely. Let us use it with common sense. Let us use it with wisdom. I don't know how else to say it. I'm just tired.
I'm just looking at you and your passion. So.
Yeah, I'm upset because the nonsense he did yesterday afternoon could have not only cost people their lives, but the other vehicles their lives. You don't overtake on a corner. It's like we need police everywhere as adults to do the right thing.
Well.
And for the persons that were in the accident yesterday morning that are in the hospital, I just wish you all a speedy recovery. I'm just tired of talking, and people, as adults, we're not listening. We're driving recklessly. We're doing everything carelessly, lawlessly, and expect things to be okay.
Well, there's nothing I can really say because we're just repeating the same thing and
over.
We say it today and an accident tomorrow. We say
Or
it
just
today
now.
and an accident. Yeah, so.
Someone even said there was an accident yesterday afternoon at the ferry terminal, and the bus drivers too. The other day I was down there, and instead of coming straight down Quint and making the turn, they cut across the road and go up the line. What if I don't understand. Why are they so lawless? What's wrong with doing the right thing? Go around, drop off the people, and drive around. Are you trying to save gas? That doesn't make sense. Like, I'm just over the nonsense. And I'm really not over the nonsense, but I'm fed up of the nonsense. I'm tired of it. We are adults. Let's do responsible things. Let's save lives. Lives matters. Vehicles can always fix. As I tell my niece and nephew, vehicles can pop out and be good again. We cannot. So come on, let's be mindful of each other. Let's be kind.
Let's take a bit of a break while Hortensia cools down.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Everything you want, everything you need, got the taste you love, anywhere that you may be, is the Caribbean flavor. Shirley biscuits make me happy.
Shirley got it all about the flavor. Shirley never let me down. And I lime it at the beach on the town. Shirley biscuits always feel like home.
Everything you want, everything you need, got the taste you love, anywhere that you may be, is the Caribbean flavor. Shirley biscuits make me happy.
Shirley, the Caribbean's favorite biscuit.
Save your quarters and save your dollars. You could just protect.
Parents and guardians, it's time to secure your child's success. Enroll them in Aspire and unlock amazing benefits. $500 in cash savings, $500 in investment shares, and life-changing financial education to teach budgeting, saving, and investing. Don't wait. Sign up your child or ward for Aspire today and give them the tools to achieve greatness. Visit aspire.gov.kn for more information.
Got itchy palms? That's a sign. Money could be coming your way with Scratch and Win from Caribbean Lottery. It's the easiest way to win instantly. No waiting, no fuss. With tickets starting from just $2 up to $20. Win over $35 million in prizes. The higher the price, the bigger the prize. So scratch today for your chance to win up to $200,000. Available at Caribbean Lottery agents island-wide. Must be 21 years and older to play. St. Kitts and Nevis, it's time to celebrate! We're raising our glasses and saying cheers to 20 years as your trusted telecommunications provider. And because we love our amazing customers, we're giving you the chance to win. Every week, we've got exciting prizes just for you. And that's not all. Step into a cash vault for a shot at $2,000 in cash. To qualify, switch to Digicel, activate a 3-day plan or higher. Pay your bill in full. Sign up for postpaid or a new Digicel Plus internet package. Stay connected, keep enjoying the best service, and get ready to win. 20 years strong, and we're just getting started. Visit a Digicel retail store today.
Welcome to Island Tea with your faves. Keep it locked in with us for your daily dose of hot tea only on Win Media 98.9.
And we are back on Island Tea. And again, Quint, yesterday we had 2 shootings in the New Guinea area. Well, Godwin's Gut, let me be correct. One person was injured. He's stable because I heard there was 1 shooting at one time and then there was a next shooting at another time.
Yeah, it seems as if though, like we unfortunately predicted, when this thing starts, it doesn't
It's
end.
ripple
It's
effect.
gonna be retaliative, and just like the accidents that keep happening,
Because
it's the
we're not-
same with
Oh my
the
God.
gun violence.
See, I was so upset with the accidents this morning. I didn't even tell folks. I didn't even remind folks about the numbers. As Quinn said, I needed a second there. So just to remind those of you listening, if you wish to join in on the conversation or you have something pressing to bring to the fore, 466-0989 local. Our local number, 1305-921-4619. Our first U.S. number, that's the one in Florida. Then the second one, 718-285-56984, or in the UK, 0333-440065. UN, it's been a while. We haven't gotten a call from you in a while.
Who?
That's our UK person we used to hear a lot from, but
Oh.
haven't heard from him in a while. I hope he's doing good over there. I hope the heat's not getting to you. Remember, drink a lot of water. Stay inside if necessary. Enjoy the AC.
In the UK?
Yeah.
Isn't the UK usually cold?
Not now. Summertime.
I don't know. So
Yeah.
from what I've heard about England and so forth, it seems as if always kind of wet weather,
Sometimes, not all the time, but this is their summertime, so the pools are open, the heat is on, because I see it from the report. So
Okay.
yeah, I know they're having their own little battles over there. I see another article that says, oh my gosh, okay, just injuries reported, because I just saw this headline that says road carnage near Monkey Farm, multiple injuries reported. So it doesn't seem like we lost anyone. So I'm happy about that.
And it seems like, just like when we have the gun violence, we tend to say, well, we hope we didn't have any deaths. It's the same thing now with the car accidents. We're saying, well, at least there weren't any, and it's a sad trend, but it's what's happening, because grown-up people, you can't tell them how to live their lives. They do what they want. And unfortunately, what I wish is that those who just did reckless things suffered on their own, but unfortunately they don't. They bring other people with them into their suffering. So that is the unfortunate thing.
That's the part, because I'm seeing the Parks and Beach worker. She sustained injury and she was a bystander. Maybe she was just doing her work. So you see, and this is what we have to be careful of. These people on the side of the roads, we have to drive very cautiously, not only for ourselves, but for everyone else. We just live in a world that really looks and appears like
The majority of the people on the road, they are not reckless, It's those few who.
Yeah, but we never know when we could get into something. That's why we always have to be cautious. I know I don't want to walk on the clouds, but I'm still extra careful, because you never know.
That's all you can do. That's all
Yeah.
you can be. So.
Yeah, it protects us. Then I saw another headline here that says, CARICOM urges UN Secretary Council action on child protection in conflict zone, highlights Haiti's plight. Haiti's plight, the Gaza plight. I see something about a 60-day ceasefire deal, and Hamas is still thinking, what are they thinking about for Israel? Sometimes I wonder if Hamas is working with Israel.
Well, they were created by Israel
I really wonder, you know,
Don't let
because
anything surprise you, because remember, they're the ones who restarted this with their actions, and
in October,
and,
on October
and
the 20th.
you never know. I was hearing on our news this morning that the Iran leader was saying that he didn't want anyone using his airspace or any part of his territory to be a part of a war. And he specifically stated that Netanyahu seems to have an agenda of including everyone in his war, you know. So, and he said he doesn't want to be a part of it. He wants to see peace in the region. So whether Israel or Iraq or Iran, sorry, he's not gonna be a
I
part.
haven't heard of Iraq in a minute.
Yeah, so that is why it was kind of strange when I heard that the Iraq leader was saying, no, don't use our, because apparently recently the U.S. used some place in Iraq to carry out their bombing of Iran, and maybe that is what prompted him to say, well, look, I don't want this. I don't want to be a part of any war. I don't want anybody to, use me and us in your war.
Okay.
We have a caller.
Caller, good morning. You're live on Island T.
Good morning to everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning and greetings once more in Jesus' name, the only Savior of sinners, from the sins and from hell, and the second person of the eternal Trinity. As usual, I'd like to say that we need to become a republic and get out the British Commonwealth as quickly as possible. The sooner, the better. Now, another point that I would like to make is this. Last night, I was looking at a video that somebody sent me on WhatsApp. And it was this lady. She went into a particular business. I ain't gonna call the name.
Please don't.
She went into a particular business. And her complaint was because the government is increasing the minimum wage tax again this month, that the business that she went into has increased, I think it's by $1 a certain food product that she wanted to buy. And the lady was making a complaint about it. Now, what I wanted to say is this, and her complaint, she was speaking very negatively of the business that she was in, saying how they ain't want them to enjoy the increase in their minimum wage and so on. And so on. Now, you see, there is much more to the picture than this, than what she believed there is. Now, I have more than once said on Voices and other stations as well, but particularly on WinFM. Let me say on WinFM. And Voices, yes, I've said it more than once. That government enforce the poor that is, and those at the bottom of society, economically speaking and financially speaking.
But Greg, I don't fully understand what I don't think I
think
fully
he's saying because they know that these persons got an increase, the price of stuff went up.
Oh, okay, because that is the part that eluded me. I didn't.
But I don't even think that may be the case, because sometimes even before the price gets to go up here, they hike the price up on goods that they have here.
Yes. The price go up for more than one reason. Price go up for a number of reasons. The devaluation of the dollar, taxes increase, government fees increase, all sorts of stuff carry up the prices of items. But so does also, in addition, minimum wage as well. Now, that's why I said the motive behind the minimum wage and price control is good. The motive is good to help the poor, that sort of stuff. But the practical said, the motive behind the minimum wage and price, the motive is good to help the poor, that sort of stuff. But the practical effect, the economical effect of prices and minimum wage is very negative and does more rather than being of a benefit to them, rather than being of a
I think it could be of a good if the people who are selling didn't have that excessive greed tendency, because it is not always that when we see prices go up. For instance, I'm going to show you an example. There are certain businesses who would have a commodity and they have a certain amount of that commodity, and then they hear that a price is going to go up on their imports within a certain period. They know this, right? So what they do, they keep back a lot of that product that they have before the next shipment, and they put it in a storeroom somewhere, right? So that, well, let's say it's milk, and you go and you see milk kind of like it's getting scarce, but it's not really scarce, you know. They keep it stored somewhere, and then when they get the next shipment now, at the time when they say the price should go up, now they bring out all at the same price. You understand what I'm saying? And
Yes,
and businesses do this all the time. I know people who work in businesses, you know, who are up in the higher echelon, and they know these things. Another thing they do in terms of customs, they cheat customs all the time. You know, their markup is different, especially the big corporations. They say this trailer has X amount of this and X amount of that, but you might find that, let's say they say this trailer has half of it is chicken and half of it is something else. I'm just using a hypothetical.
Yes.
A half of one of those product, right, is a very kind of expensive thing. So what they do, they say half of this is half of that. But the half that they tell you is supposed to be chicken is the half that is that expensive product. You understand? So next thing when it comes to, you get a markdown price, but when it goes into their supermarket now, they still put a markup on it, even though they got it cheap. Boy, look, these business people, you can't go with them.
Well, I will not argue that there is an element of that simply because government are protecting agents. Because of government protection of agents, I will not argue against that. There's that aspect because government protecting agents, giving protectionism to agents, does kill competition. I'm not going to argue that there's not that element, but also, in addition to that, there's another element as well that is economical. Even if what you said did not happen, this rise in government minimum wage will still cause an increase in goods. Maybe not as much, but it still will cause an increase in goods, which, of course, is making things worse for the poor. And the reason why it will cause still cause an increase in items is simply because when you have people, because of government action, who get an increase in minimum wage, that increase is not the result of an increase in products and services. And so because it is not an increase as a result of increase in products and services, you now have more money chasing after basically the same amount of goods and services. You have an increase now in demand, but you do not have an increase in supply.
I hear, Greg,
of that,
I hear all of that. I hear all of that.
Yeah.
But I still maintain, let me give you an example. Let's use Africa as an example. Let's use Burkina Faso and their goal. And let's say not let's say, gold used to be taken out of Burkina Faso, go to places like France, and at the end of the time when they give you the money for it, they give you, let's say, okay, let me go into my brain and see if I can remember. Gold, when the gold was taken out of Burkina Faso, went to France, come back, let's say you got $1 billion. Now that sounds like a lot of money, right? $1 billion at the end of a given period. Now, during that period when Burkina Faso was getting $1 billion, where was all of the exorbitant amount of profit going? Okay, here that's one. Number two, when Ibrahim Traore took over and he decided we're gonna look for different arrangement. Instead of getting 1 billion within a given period, it moved from 1 billion to 20 something billion. So here's my point. I use that as a hypothetical. Who's to say what the profit markup margin is in St. Kitts and Nevis on any given product within a given period? Now, here's the rub. If in Burkina Faso the government had decided when they were getting this 1 billion within a given period, if the government had decided, okay, I want my people to get more, so I'm going to increase minimum wage. Do you know that the French government would have still found a way to take it out, even though they were only giving back Burkina Faso 1 billion? So that is my point. These businesses, a lot of the times they're making exorbitant profit and they could pass it down, but they're so greedy they don't. And the government, in trying to find some kind of relief, says, okay, let's give the people so and so. And even though they know they're getting this exorbitant increase, they're still gonna jack it up because they're greedy and they mean they want more. And that is my point.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, though, Quint, I'm not saying that does not have a point. I'm not saying that is not there. But what I'm saying, even if things were going properly, even if businessmen were not exorbitant, and I don't agree that they are making exorbitant profits, because many of them are going out of business in St. Kitts and Nevis.
I use that as a hypothetical with a specific product to show you, as you said, not all, but to show you that there are companies that make exorbitant amount and don't pass it on. That is my point.
Yes, I agree. But what I'm saying as well, even if those companies were passing it on, as you said, they're making exorbitant profits. Even if they were passing it on, okay? If they have if they have customers coming and buying more because they get more in government handouts, and also because government raised minimum wages. Even if they were passing it on and wasn't doing what you said that they're doing, they still, because of supply and demand.
No, not in this. No, that does.
Tie up the prices of the product.
That, Greg, you're an intelligent person. What I'm saying is, I'm not talking about under normal circumstances. That is why I specifically use Burkina Faso as an example, where I say, you see the difference between 1 billion and 20-something billion? You see the difference, Greg? That is what I'm saying. I'm saying that they can give this without any of this, what you're speaking about because of supply and demand. They're making this exorbitant profit just anyway. But they're greedy. So here is it now that you have China and you have Russia and other places in Europe and so forth who are now saying to the Africans, look, we're prepared to give you what you're worth. So you see the difference now in the living standard of the people, the drastical difference. That is what I'm saying. Now, I'm not speaking to the point where Lil saying it's a Nevis and a little markup on a tin of beef. I was just showing you that whether it's a tin of the beef or whatever, the amount of products that these people bring in on a whole, at the end of the year, what is their profit? That is my point. And if their profit is X amount, because they look here's it. They give to the eye care, they open up this, so it shows that they're making exorbitant profit. But they, rather than pass it on to the people, they keep it to themselves, and then they give some to charity or give some to the government in certain, and the government feels good that, okay, we get this. But why don't the government say, well, rather than giving us here and pass it on to the people? But they don't do that. So that is my point.
Yeah, Quint, I heard you. And like I said, to a certain degree, I'm not arguing with you against that. But even in Burkina Faso, even if they were gained the 20 billion, what I'm saying, even if they were gained the 20 billion, what I'm saying is that no matter where in the world you have an increase in demand, if you do not have an increase in supply,
but that does not.
So what is being demanded for these folks to know?
That is the point. That is what I keep. That is what I keep.
Spend the extra $70 that their wage would have increased by.
This is why. This is why we tend to go around in circles with Greg, because even though Greg will say, "Okay, I hear what you say," he goes back to his original point, which has no merit at this point, because the point here, the salient point here is that this is not about supply and demand. This is about you're taking a supply cheap, and you're making a humongous profit. So this isn't about supply and demand where the supply is short and the demand is high, so the price has to go up. Yeah. No, we're not speaking about that.
Your point is, Quint, your point is that if there was not doing things the way you said they're doing, the prices would have been at an honest level. Okay, that's what you're saying.
Yes.
And
the people
right,
and the people's living standard would be better.
Well, it depends on who is controlling it. It all depends. If the government is controlling it, not necessarily.
But
what I'm saying,
look at what.
Even the people living standard are higher.
But look at what is happening in Burkina Faso. We're talking about housing construction that isn't like 500 tractors coming in one time. You understand? 500 of this. In a given area, you're talking about a housing development that is like 25,000 homes. You see the drastic difference because of the amount of money they can now get? That is what I'm speaking about.
Okay, even in that context, Quint, even in that context, let's say things are going the way they're going in Burkina Faso, which I disagree that they're not going the way they're supposed to be going, because government has gone beyond their biblical duties. But let us say I was to give you the benefit of the doubt. Everything is going where they're going. Prices are honestly
I'm not saying in every instance, I'm using a specific point.
Well, I'm saying even if in every instance, even if it was the case in every instance, okay, hypothetically, that was the case, and they're getting the 20 billion from gold and that sort of stuff, If in that context where everything is priced honestly and all those sort of stuff, if the government in that context was to raise the minimum wage and give out handouts and that sort of stuff.
But that point is moot. That point goes, Greg, that point, sometimes you bring some point that are ridiculous. The government wouldn't have to increase minimum wage because the people, from 1 billion a year to 22 billion a year, the government has money. You understand? So the people, the companies that are extracting the gold, exporting and importing and so forth, they can increase the people's salary on their own without the government having to do it. You keep going back to points that we are killing as we go along. When I kill a point, don't bring it back. You kill a rooster, you can't bring it back.
Because your point has sunshine comments are trying to show you.
Yeah, but it can't have shortcoming because you're going back to hear what you're saying. If the government have to increase minimum wage, but in this scenario they wouldn't have to because the companies that are doing the work, extracting, so they're gonna say, well, okay, we can give Cartensia X amount, we can give Quint X amount. The government it wouldn't be forced to do it. The government is forced to do these things when the corporate business either are going through some kind of duress, they say, or the government feels, look, my people who elected me need a little relief, and I'm going to see if I can find a way to get it. Anyway, sorry about that. Sorry about that. You have anything to say, Hortensia?
No.
We're going to take a bit of a commercial break, and we'll be back.
You found the sound. 98.9 Win FM.
Rams the good food people, always there to serve you. Rams the good food people, locations right near you. Rams the good food people, in-store specials for you. Rams the good food people. Rams. When you need better service, Rams is always here. Better value, better prices. Rams is always here. Rewarding your loyalty. Rams is always here. We are community. We are family. We are family. Rams for you and me. We are community. Rams for you and me.
It's the energy of we people, something pulsing inside. It beats in every soul, a feeling we cannot It's always pushing us forward, the limit up in the sky. There's rhythm in how we flow, a rhythm that can't be denied. It's in the feeling in how we talk. It's in the meaning in our spark. It is the thing that sets us apart, who we are. 'Cause the rhythm of life keeps pumping. Together going strong, no matter what we keep things flowing. For the people we will go all in. Our hands up in the sky, celebrate and come let your rhythm flow, 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 flow. Come let your rhythm come let your rhythm flow.
Are you dreaming of a brighter future? The answer is right beneath your feet. Buying land is a wise investment. You can build a home, hold it as collateral, or pass it on to your children. And with CIBC Caribbean, buying land is a bold move you can make right now. CIBC Caribbean is giving you US $250 towards your valuation cost and 50% off your loan application fee. Visit CIBCCaribbean.com for more details. CIBC Caribbean terms and conditions apply.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM.
When can I open my eyes?
Not yet. Okay, open. Do you see what I see?
It just looks like land to me.
It's our land, son. A wise investment that will grow with you.
Invest in land with CIBC Caribbean and we'll give you US $250 towards your valuation cost and 50% off your loan application fee. With CIBC Caribbean land financing, you can choose to build, hold, or pass on to your children. Visit CIBCCaribbean.com to learn more. Conditions apply.
Kids and neighbors, it's time to celebrate! We're raising our glasses and saying cheers to 20 years as your trusted telecommunications provider. And because we love our amazing customers, we're giving you the chance to win. Every week, we've got exciting prizes just for you. And that's not all. Step into a cash vault for a shot at $2,000 in cash. To qualify, switch to Digicel, activate a 3-day plan or higher, pay your bill in full, sign up for postpaid or a new Digicel Plus internet package. Stay connected, keep enjoying the best service, and get ready to win. 20 years strong, and we're just getting started. Visit a Digicel retail store today.
Save your quarters and save your dollars. You could protect.
Parents and guardians, it's time to secure your child's success. Enroll them in Aspire and unlock amazing benefits. $500 in cash savings, $500 in investment shares, and life-changing financial education to teach budgeting, saving, and investing. Don't wait. Sign up your child or ward for Aspire today and give them the tools to achieve greatness. Visit aspire.gov.kn for more information.
Can you feel the love on a stranger's face? Look at West Indies.
Welcome to Island Tea with your faves. Keep it locked in with us for your daily dose of hot tea only on Win Media 98.9.
It's the start of the week. It's time.
Sorry about that.
Okay, and we're back on Island Tea, and this segment is dedicated solely to.
Wait, shouldn't be at 9? That is why I cut it off.
I saw 8:45 to 9.
Okay, so then I stand corrected. So that means that means I have to start it because it is in there, but I cut it because I was saying it's 9. So you have on there is 8:45.
It's 8:45 to 9.
So it's 8:45. So let me see if I can do this. Pull this here, put this here, and do this. Here we go.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Can you feel the love on a stranger's face? Look at West Indies. West Indies cricket is all our legacy. It's our energy when we come down there. Time to rally around the West Indies. It's in every creed and race. West Indies are the holy grail. West Indies is where we from. Sunshine and free creed and holy grail. West Indies is where we from. Sunshine and sweet steel drums.
Welcome to Island Tea with your faves. Keep it locked in with us for your daily dose of hot tea only on Win Media 98.9.
And we are back on Island Tea, and as we mentioned, this segment is solely dedicated to the upcoming segment is solely dedicated to 20 cricket matches in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis at the Warner Park Stadium. So we are inviting one and all to go out and support the gentlemen in maroon. Rally around your West Indies. And these matches are on the 25th, the 26th, and the 30th at Warner Park from 7 p.m. So, Quint, are you looking forward to going out? And
Me, I don't go out. I
we
love
need you
cricket,
out there
but
celebrating with
I
us.
more listen to cricket. I don't go
So you've
out.
never been to a match in all the CPL matches that would have been here?
No.
West Indies against Bangladesh last year, you didn't go?
No, but I listen to them. I listen to them on the radio.
No, man, you gotta come and feel the vibe.
Or I watch them on the television. Or
You heard what the song said, full of energy, so you had to come out with your big St. Kitts flag, full of energy. Not only I should be holding the big flag, you too.
Maybe I don't have the energy.
But you have the energy. I'm not even gonna go there with you. You do have the energy.
Well, I'm just being a bit of mischievous there.
Yeah. So you're gonna listen.
Yeah, I'm gonna listen.
Okay.
Because like I say, I'm a big fan of the Caribbean team, West Indian cricket. I cringe every time I have to say that. But yeah, West Indies will be here, and I know that for sure the Guyanese contingent is going to turn out in their numbers. I know that for sure.
Yep.
You say cricket, you say
GT.
You understand?
Say Guyanese.
Yeah.
That's why they hold most of the big games, the finals in Ghana, because they know the turnout. They know what the stadium's going to look like. They know the hype, the vibe that's going to...
Hype, the vibe.
Exactly. Nobody support cricket in the world like Indians and GT. And GT, full of Indians. So majority of the population you see at cricket, Indians. Yeah.
Well, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's a bit of trivia for me.
You don't look at the cricket or obviously the IPL and those things?
Yeah.
Remember the Indians, that's the audience. You might see a couple Caucasians or whatever, but you see how big the Indian audience is. And we know India has a lot of persons, a lot of people.
In India, but I'm speaking about like when we see cricket in Trinidad and Tobago, Guyana, and
look at the biggest ethnicity represented at cricket.
I never noted that. That is why I said that would be a bit of news trivia for me, because I thought I saw a lot of black people,
Look at it again and you'll see in Trinidad
maybe it's because I tend to look for black people,
Yeah,
so
but the ethnicity...
You see what you want to see,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
You do. But the ethnicity in Guyana, you see a lot. And we know Nevis has a large Guyanese Indian population, so they come over and support too. You might have a few colored like me in the mix, but majority of them are Indians, because that's their game, that's their thing. They like to support that. They bring the hype. I made some friends the last time they were there, and we were shouting, and we were backing Moti, of course. We weren't being biased, but we just had to back our own. Yes, go Moti. But we were just hyping him up to bowl.
So what do you kind of envision for the upcoming cricket? What it is? It's one day. It's T20.
T20.
T20. Yeah.
T20.
T20.
And it's 3 one-day matches.
Okay.
What I envision, I hope that the entire federation comes out, because cricket is catching on. It is catching on, because the last CPL we had, I was surprised at the numbers.
Okay.
So it is catching on. So I'm hoping that once people hear T22, they know it's fast cricket. So they'll come out, and as I said, it's nighttime. Most of us are done working. It's a lime.
Yeah.
So they'll come out, their support will fill the stadium. We will show Cricket West Indies that we are deserving of holding cricket matches here in the West Indies.
That is important.
Yes. So Little St. Kitts, part of the West Indies, can host matches, can have a big turnout. majority of it being the federal population, along with the visitors. But yeah, I'm hoping that we really come out, show out, enjoy ourselves, support the men in maroon, because it's not the Patriots against the Amazon Warriors, it's the West Indies against Australia. So, and I know the Australians might come in too and support their own. So, we got to come out,
Not
show
might.
up, show out.
They usually bring a contingent.
Yeah, listen, when I flew, these people follow these people all
Over the
around.
world, yeah.
Yeah, I said, maybe this is their life. So these are their trips that they take. They go from Grenada to Barbados to Trinidad. I'd be like, wow, these people have monies. But I said I should look at it like that. These people just like the game of cricket, and this is where they want to. We have our own. Like some of us pay to travel the world. They travel the world for cricket, so that's their thing. So Kititians, Nevisians, Guyanese, St. Lucians, Vincentians, Dominicans. I know we are in our numbers in the federation. We have to come out on the days that I list at the 25th, the 26th, and the 30th. And support the gentlemen in maroon. So let us come out in our numbers. They have placed it at a perfect time, I would think. 7 p.m. Most of us have done our working day. It's T20, so it's going to be pretty quick. And we just come out, make our guys feel welcome, support our guys so they can beat the socks off of Australia.
Okay, let me ask you a question. While the song was playing, and we're going to end with the song again. While the song was playing, I saw you kind of doing your little bounce, dance. So when you go to these matches, do you dance? When there are sessions when the band strikes up, and most likely this song is going to be playing. This very same song, because it's part of the promotion for the T20 games that are going to be here.
If you say dance, if you say sway from side to side with the flag, but not like put on a whole dance. But the last time when we had
let me cut in here. When a Caribbean woman sways just from side to side, for us it's a dance.
Yeah, that's why I tell you, if you consider that swaying from side to side, because the last time we had the West Indies against Bangladesh, they had this guy dressing up as a tiger. I think that's their national animal, right?
Yeah.
And listen, every time the West Indies did something, we'd be like, Tiger, you're quiet, Lex, and we just keep teasing him. But he was a good sport, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, stuff like that. So you taunt each other, you get up, you throw your hands up. I think they actually caught me at one point. Over the top.
Oh, you were doing
it? Yeah, my friend, she messaged me and she'd be like, I just saw you. And I'd be like, listen, I had a bunch of people from Antigua message me that day and be like, we just saw you. Yeah, man, you're enjoying yourself.
When you say over the top, what you mean?
Just like a moment.
I thought you mean climbing over a fence like Tanti.
I go to the cricket to celebrate, enjoy, and to leave in great condition.
Because I was imagining Cortensia doing a Tanti Merle.
Oh no Tanti Merles for me. But yeah, cricket is. Listen, I preferred golf over cricket. And I must credit my husband for getting me into the game.
You preferred golf over cricket?
Yeah.
So okay, that's interesting.
Yeah. So I credit my husband for getting me into the game, teaching me the game, and now I teach my friends the game. And the game is a fun game, and I can't believe I missed out so much of the game because of my prejudice towards it. And even when we had the West Indies back in the day. Okay, even when we had the West Indies back in the day that I should have been back in, I was backing my VJ Sings, etc., etc. So, yeah. So I'm looking forward to the days, and I will be going out in support. So I'm looking forward to you coming out with me and supporting the gentlemen in maroon. I'll be wearing my West Indies shirt as well, and yeah, I'll be cheering for Moti, and I'll be cheering for all the gentlemen that will be playing. Hopefully we have our very own, I don't know if Mikhail or his brother will be playing, but hopefully we have our very own who would be playing on that team so we can shout even more.
I was being told that Remember, we had a conflict as to the 28th or
The 30th, because
the 30th.
it's the 28th.
Yeah, I was being told, but I tried to explain. I explained that we had a conflict.
Yeah, because I know it was those.
Yeah,
Okay, so folks, let me apologize. The 25th, the 26th, and the 28th.
Yes.
Not the 30th. So the 25th, the 26th, and the 28th of July, 7 p.m. nightly at the Warner Park Stadium. So we look forward to seeing you come out. Let's share the hype. Look for me. I'll look for you. Maybe maybe I can be
the mascot.
No, maybe I can be one of the commentators along with the others.
Oh, I would have loved to see you being a mascot.
Oh Lord, no! My mascot. That would be fun too. But who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Because I have to find out what the mascot for Australia is and see who's going to be there. But let me tell you, that tiger, when we had Bangladesh against St. Kitts, he was fun. He entertained us. We entertained him. We heckled each other, and yeah, it was a really fun match. As we told the tiger when the West Indies won and he was leaving, we said, you lost your roar, and he just laughed, bowed his head, and he left the park. So I'm looking forward for us to do the same thing to the Australians. Pun intended, yes. The guys in maroon, we will whoop you. So welcome to the West Indies, and let's cheer on our very own as they take on Australia on July 25th, 26th, and 28th at the Warner Park from 7 p.m.
Yes, and if you're going to the park as a Caribbean person, no matter whether you're Guyanese, whatever, don't support anyone else but the West Indies.
But the West Indies, the guys in maroon, yes.
That's a demand.
Yes, a must.
It's high in the air again. Can you feel the love on a stranger's face? Look at the West Indies. West Indies cricket is all our legacy. It's our energy when we come down there. Time to rally around the West Indies. It's in every creed and race. West Indies are the holy grail. Whoa, West Indies is where we from. Sunshine and sweet steel drums. Whoa, no boundary could stop we might. When the West Indies unite, everybody charge up. West Indies going high up. Full of energy,
Welcome to Island Tea with your faves. Keep it locked in with us for your daily dose of hot tea only on Win Media 98.9.
And we are back on Island Tea. So please go out and support. Listen, I can't wait. But I'm not gonna be too excited.
You know who told me that you were a big fan of cricket?
No what?
Lorraine.
Oh, okay.
And I know Lorraine is a big fan of cricket.
You know, me and her at that same match I was talking about.
That's what she said. She said, guess who I saw when and in my mind, before we had a talk and I realized how enthusiastic you are of cricket, in my mind I'm thinking, oh, okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But now I see that you're really enthusiastic.
Yeah, really enthusiastic. I can't wait to see how the nights will turn out. Yeah. Caller, good morning. You're live on Island Tea.
Yes, good morning, Quint and Cortensia. How are you guys doing today, man?
Good.
Well, we're feeling elevated, just speaking about cricket and, cricket West Indies and that kind of stuff. Are you a cricket fan?
Oh, yeah. Let me not forget to watch Cortensia bumps left to right. That got us perked up a little bit too as well.
Oh, so you're going to be looking forward to see if you can catch a glimpse of her on the television going from left to right with the flag.
Yes, that's good. That's correct.
Okay, when you, I know you have a topic you want to speak about, but I don't want to just let go this cricket thing. So when you support cricket, who do you support? What team?
I'm always local, man. Always.
Okay. Good to hear that.
Yeah.
That is what I wanted.
She's going to support the Patriots and the West Indies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
So what other tangent now? Yeah.
No. I want to stick with the cricket, Quint, like you indicated.
Okay.
Yeah, man. I'm a big cricket.
So that means you have to come down then, Burl. Just 3 days you can ask off for, if you're not an entrepreneur.
Yeah, well, let me state this clear to the St. Kitts and Nevis Federation to hear me. I'm from a cricket family.
Oh yes, I think you said that. The Sergeant family.
Yes. And I'm gonna state it. I want to state this loud and clear. And what I'm stating right now is in conjunction with the Elimat issue you was discussing yesterday and the prior days. Our national heroes, our personal heroes, especially when we're little boys and little girls growing up.
Yeah.
Our heroes are not only politicians.
Yeah.
I do not see where politicians will be recognized more than an average John Doe that has contributed in the society. There is so much different areas that people have contributed in, and we now have 5 national heroes, right?
Yeah.
And all of them are politicians. That should not be. That should not be at all.
And as you said that, for some time, people have been agitating, especially over on Nevis, for El Camida Willett to be given, that kind of a status. And for whatever reason, it seemed, I may be wrong, but it seems as if though these politicians mean only politicians are supposed to be national heroes. That is my impression.
And I'm gonna say it right now. The guy Pell called him, Lincoln Pell. And we know that there's a process to go through. We know that. But the contributions of Elimat and another such person as El Camino Willett, as you say, right?
Yeah.
They don't need to be going through no process.
Yeah.
Their contribution is so stellar. The government just needs to designate a date where we're going to have a celebration and name them a national hero.
Yeah.
And in some cases, these persons should be knighted as well.
Yeah.
We heard recently that the Prime Minister make a trip to England to try to get Douglas knighted. But when we are hearing what these politicians had done to the Federation, squandering off all that CBI money and such, and these backdoor deals and selling out the country, they don't need to be recognized like that. We need to move away from that.
And when you
we already got enough.
When you say knighted, knighted by whom?
knighted by the King Charles.
No,
Who's head of state.
I disagree, because that is why I wanted to be
and
sure.
I disagree as well.
Because Vivian Richards, if I'm not mistaken, is knighted, but he was knighted by Antigua Barbuda, the Antigua Barbuda government.
Let me ask you a question, Quinn. What status does Elimat has? I know this and that has a MBE or something like that. Has Elimat been granted any such of those?
Not as far as not as far as I know. At least not locally. I know. I think, but I'm vague on it. I know he was given an award when he was up and about in Trinidad and Tobago, but I don't remember what the title was. But that is the point. This title that this and that got, he got that from the Nevis government.
I believe from the Queen. I'm not
from
sure.
The Queen.
All I know, I think they call him an MBE or something like that.
We've got to move away from these things where we feel only this, monarchy of that represents our deprivation and exploitation, and they give us these little token nonsense. I don't like it, Why can't we have our own process where we give people titles that come from us? Why either St. Kitts Nevis or Caribbean getting together and coming up with some format of knighting people or whatever. I think I'm going to have to do some research. Cortencius, maybe I don't know if you have.
But let me
see if you can find out. See if you can find out how Sir Viv Richard got his knighthood. Yes. Go ahead, Burl.
Okay, Quinn. Let me say something, right?
Yeah.
There is so much past cricketers who contributed, and there is so much talent over in Nevis, and there's so much persons to be recognized. This is what my suggestion is. We need to have a cricket for Hall of Fame. We need to have a cricket for Hall of Fame. And this is my idea. It's coming straight from me. Okay. Let me rewind a little bit. First of all, let me go back and rewind. I want to acknowledge. You got a couple of minutes? I got a couple of minutes?
Yeah, go ahead, because no one else is calling.
Okay. While no one else is calling, let me set it straight up. I want to acknowledge Livingston Sargent, my uncle.
Yes.
And Derek Parry out of Cotton Ground Village area. And the reason why I'm saying this is because they were my childhood heroes.
Yes.
I migrated out of Nevis in 1985. And I'm going to say it loud and clear. If I didn't leave Nevis, I would have made West Indies team.
What? You don't
it's only one person. It's only one person in Nevis that had that competition with me, and that was Stuart Williams.
Okay.
Yeah. And thanks to El Comido Willett, that made it possible for me to put a hard ball in my hand for the first time, and to take a bat and strike a hard ball for the first time when El Comido Willett organized a 3-team league between Lowland School, Boys School uptown, and Prospect Elementary over in the Browns Hill region.
Yeah.
Mark Brantley was that off-spin bowler that couldn't get me out.
Oh.
Up to this day, he still talks about it. But I had Stuart Williams caught and stealing it off, and my player dropped him. And when he dropped him, Frank Munzak dropped him. When Frank Munzak dropped him, we lost the game right there. We was never able to get Stuart Williams out again.
Wow.
We lost not only to Boys School because of that drop catch by my player, Frank Munzak. We dropped Stuart Williams right there and steal him off in front of the bat. And next game, I had to take my revenge on Prospect, on Mark's team. 15, a quick half a century not out.
Okay.
11 years old, playing first exposure to hardball cricket.
Wow, that's a good achievement.
And then when I migrated out to Federation, I heard some years after Stuart Williams made the West Indies team.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say it again. That year, Nevis would have had 2 picks going to the West Indies, me and Strat Williams. He could have never leave me behind. And I want to acknowledge him. Strat, I want to acknowledge him and say, kudos to him. As a childhood friend, we're still friends up to this day, but it's very difficult to get a hold of these guys. They're moving I think he's a manager or a coach of the West Indies team. So he moves around a lot. But going back to my uncle, Livingston Sargent and Derek Parry, we must get these guys because my uncle Livingston, right, he's really up there in age, and he's coming to that same situation like Elimat.
Yeah.
This man he ain't got not even a big stone in Cotton Ground named after him up to this minute. And that's a shame. My uncle Livingston Sargent, his name needs to go on that community center in Cotton Ground, and he needs to have that main road from Fifeton and go down to the beach area, go down to the bottom of the village, named after him. And I will probably let Derek Parry get the ball field named after him.
Okay.
We need to recognize our heroes.
Most definitely.
And as you're talking about the cricket, right? We don't see our priorities are mixed up. We need to have a resurgence in cricket. We need to jumpstart some type of league locally so we can expose the youngsters to cricket at a very young age. Our priorities are mixed up because we are now seeing youngsters playing basketball, right? But there is hardly any or little scouts, no scouts from the NBA, from the American leagues. I'm not hearing or seeing no scouts in basketball coming into the federation. So, therefore, we should have these guys start playing more cricket again because cricket is making money.
Yeah, it offers more options and better opportunities.
Yeah, there's more options right now in cricket.
Yeah.
So we as a federation have to pay attention to this. We have to start investing in sports and entertainment and agriculture, of course. Cannot forget agriculture.
Yeah.
Persons can make a lot of money in sports and then bring that money back to the federation. And I just want to put this stuff out there, man. We got our priorities mixed up, and we have made so much money through that CBI program and then mismanaged that money. And then now, believe it or not, the citizens of the federation, we are going to suffer if we don't get this stuff straight and start changing up ourselves and do stuff differently. If we continue along this vein, it's continued sufferation. We have to do something different in St. Kitts and Nevis. We are so small. We don't have that goal like Burkina Faso, like you was talking about earlier. Our natural resources is our people and our land. And if our politicians are going to keep making these deals and keep letting our lands go, we are going to find ourselves in a bad situation. These are national issues that need to be attacked by all of the political parties, all of the people. When the national issues come up, we have to unite. If we don't unite on the national issues, it just continues. I mean, look how much information is coming out about our politicians, how they had access to so much money, but the place is not advanced enough. The place is not advanced enough. Over on Nevis south side, we heard certain things about the lands over there on the south side. And then the land on the peninsula in St. Kitts, it's a mirror in our face to see what has happened on the peninsula. The government should have taken control of all of those lands over there, and then they should have just leased them out. Any of the investors that come in, they should not let those lands get away like that from the people. And then on the south side of Nevis now, we are going into the same situation. We are trying to make the same situation happen on the south side of Nevis. What has happened on the peninsula of St. Kitts? And the local people in the south side lands of Nevis that own those lands, the government is not trying to put the infrastructure in so the local people can benefit. What their intention is to get those lands away from those people, and then they will put that infrastructure in. And that's like a trick. And the people of Nevis got to pay attention and do not let these people who are trying to do that to them, let them trick them. Because, Quint, the moment, just as on the peninsula, when people didn't see the vision of putting that road in, that Kennedy Simmons did, when people had their complaints, the highway to nowhere. But look at what has happened on the peninsula right now, up to date. But we are going to let this stuff happen in the peninsula, and then we're going to let it happen on the south side of Nevis.
Okay,
on the
bro.
south side of
Okay,
Nevis,
okay.
Last before I get off, on that south side of Nevis, when all of that money was coming in, the premier should have tried to open up a road from the Bath Plains all the way around to Indian Castle. And that's my last point. And I want to say, thanks for hearing me, and I wish the Federation the best going forward, man. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. And
thank you,
of
bro.
course, everyone go on out to the games and enjoy the games.
And you come home and enjoy them too.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Thanks. I will. Sure. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, let's take a break, and when we get back, we'll continue.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
It's the energy of we people, something pulsing inside. It beating every soul, a feeling we cannot It's always pushing us forward, the limit up in the sky. There's rhythm in how we flow, a rhythm that can't be denied. It's in the feeling in how we talk. It's in the meaning in our spark. It is the thing that sets us apart, who we are. 'Cause the rhythm of life keeps bumping.
When can I open my eyes?
Not yet. Okay, open. Do you see what I see?
It just looks like land to me.
It's our land, son. A wise investment that will grow with you.
Invest in land with CIBC Caribbean and we'll give you US $250 towards your valuation cost and 50% off your loan application fee. With CIBC Caribbean land financing, you can choose to build, hold, or pass on to your children. Visit CIBCCaribbean.com to learn more. Conditions apply.
Got itchy palms? That's a sign. Money could be coming your way with Scratch and Win from Caribbean Lottery. It's the easiest way to win instantly. No waiting, no fuss. With tickets starting from just $2 up to $20, win over $35 million in prizes. The higher the price, the bigger the prize. So scratch today for your chance to win up to $200,000. Available at Caribbean Lottery agents island-wide. Must be 21 years and older to play.
Welcome to Island Tea with your faves. Keep it locked in with us for your daily dose of hot tea, only on Win Media 98.9.
And we are back. And Burl made a very good point when it came to not making our national heroes known. I have not, most of my matches that I had to attend, I've had to work before, right?
Yeah.
So I've not been there at the inception of the matches. But I just honestly think, since cricket seemed to follow music festival all the time, and we have guests coming in, maybe we could do a little infomercial with like a Did You Know? We could let them know, we had cricketers here. El Camido Willett, the late Renako Morton, may his soul continue to rest in peace. I remember this young guy used to go to college with, Tonito Willett. I don't think he plays anymore. Stuart Williams, Keith Otterton, Victor Eddy, Livingston Sargent. We heard about Derek Parry. We heard Burl Jones might have been one of them. Paget, is it Page or Paget Berridge and Lawrence Acro Rollins? We now have Jazara Claxton, the first female from St. Kitts to be on West Indies team. We have the Louis brothers, Mikhail and Jeremiah. We have upcoming cricketers that may make the team. So we have Curdell Crook, we have Zara Skerritt and a couple others. I have to get all of their names together. So we have to keep the sport alive. And as I said, it's becoming a big thing now. People see it's aligned with their friends, and people are learning and
It's a
enjoying the
big-
game. So
big
we have to keep it alive. So I just feel, and I'm going to put this out for Cricket West Indies before we come off of the topic, make an infomercial. Start, since the games are going to be here, just remind people who the cricketers from St. Kitts is and
St.
were.
Kitts and Nevis.
Yeah, St. Kitts and Nevis, the federation, the federal, because I did, most of the gentlemen I mentioned are from Nevis,
Because
including
Nevis
Burl.
Nevis
I
has
don't want
been
them
the
to get me,
forerunner,
but in my head I'm thinking federal, but I didn't say it. But let's make an infomercial and let's let people know these are the people that made St. Kitts and Nevis, and we know most of the cricketers back in the day came from Nevis.
Yeah.
So let's do
We
that. Let's
have a
promote
caller.
cricket. Good morning, caller. You're live on Island T.
Yes. Hello. Yes, it's me again.
Be brief.
Now,
Be
I
brief.
just want to clarify something.
Be brief this time.
Yes. I want to clarify something. When I had called in, I began my call by saying, if an increase in minimum wages, if people get an increase in minimum wage that is not based upon an increase in services and products, it's going to cause an increase in items and services, because it is not based upon increase in products and services. Now, if in Burkina Faso, because of the government now making extra money, okay, and if because of that, businesses in Burkina Faso are now making more money on the products and services, they're giving an increase will not affect the prices of the items and services, because such an increase will be based upon an increase in production and services, increased services. But here in St. Kitts, where this government increase, plus the government handouts as well, because all of that add in. But where now, the latest you have this government increasing minimum wages. And by the way, there are countries that don't have, for example, the Scandinavian countries do not have minimum wage, and government enforced minimum wages. And other countries like Switzerland and so do not have government enforced minimum wages. But what I'm saying, here in St. Kitts now, because our latest government increasing minimum wages is not based upon an increase in services and products, and government is forcing businesses to increase the minimum wages, you will have an increase in items and services, supply and demand
So
coming
you're
to
basically
effect.
saying the monies that the increase that they get, it wouldn't be able to cover what inflation will throw at them.
No, it's saying that what happened is that you're going to have, because you don't have an increase in supply in services and products, you're going to have more money chasing the same amount of services, or basically the same amount of services and products. And because of that, I'm talking about St. Kitts, and because of that, more money chasing basically the same amount of services and products, you're going to have an increase in those things. But not only that.
But Greg,
you're also gonna have-
Greg, I asked you to be brief, but we understand that. That was never my dispute. My dispute was using a hypothetical to show where certain businesses make exorbitant profit and simply choose not to pass it on. And so the government now, in trying to entice the electorate to vote for them in the next 5 years, are forced to some extent to do this. But your point, we never disputed that.
Okay. Quint, I could make this point quickly because let me leave now, but let me make this point quickly. And I'm going to tell you what's going to happen now. Because we do not have an increase in services and products, and yet government forcing businesses to increase minimum wage, you know what's going to happen? I'm going to say this quickly, and I'm going to go. Small businesses especially are going to suffer the most, and you're going to see an increase in the closure, and you're going to see an increase in the unemployment, especially of people who work in that minimum wage level. You're going to see these things. But I mark my word. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. One of the
I
things.
thought that would have been a plus for the people. I thought he might have been excited for that because the people have at least $70 more in their hand to do something with. I would hope they would save it if they don't have to use it.
Yeah, but what he's speaking to, he's not wrong in terms of what he's speaking to, because we're not speaking so much of the individual getting, this increase. We're speaking about the overall impact because of the amount of businesses on the country, and they're not passing on certain things, making sure that whenever the government says, well, we're going to increase minimum wage, they're going to find ways to make sure that they put that into the cost
I understand.
of the product.
So the things
and
gonna
so
go up.
things are going to go up
Yeah,
still.
I got that.
And though that increase in prices is going to be a squeeze on small businesses. That is what he's saying. And he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
A squeeze on small businesses or a squeeze on the consumer? Because if we need the stuff, we're still going to buy it.
On the consumer and small businesses, but he was putting emphasis mainly on small businesses because small businesses is the main catalyst for growth within any economy. Those yes, you have those big businesses, but when you have an increase in a lot of small businesses, it shows that your country is doing well financially because people have confidence in taking these risks. Okay, so yeah. Did you get any information in terms of
The Viv Richards stuff?
yeah, who knighted him?
It says Richards was knighted under an order bestowed by the Antiguan government and therefore not administered by the Foreign Office.
Yeah, that is. I wasn't too sure, but I thought that was the case. But I like if I'm not too sure about something to buttress it with facts. So yes. So why can't we go along that vein? And if I'm not mistaken, they also gave Lord Shortshirt, awards coming from Antigua Barbuda.
Where is he from? Antigua, right?
Yeah,
Antigua. Okay.
Yeah,
Just making
Antigua
sure.
Barbuda.
Yeah.
So I think that we as a Caribbean people should, because you see what you said, he was knighted by the. So why can't we be thinking that way? Why can't we hear knighted and we think the Queen?
Well, the king.
The king, yeah.
God rest the Queen.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see.
But let's hope. As I said, we have a lot of cricketers that are still around, and
let's see if we can entertain this last call. Hello, caller.
Caller.
Good morning, Brother Quinn. Good morning.
Yeah. And be brief, because we're already over time.
No, we're not.
We're not?
No.
Boy, what is happening to me these
Something
days?
skipping. It's 9:35.
Boy, I tell you,
It's 9:30. Is it only when I'm here?
Quint, I wouldn't say you need a vacation. You just into it.
No,
this is the second time that has happened. Yeah.
Go ahead, caller.
Go ahead. Yeah.
I would like to weigh in on the increase of government minimum wage.
Yeah.
No, government spoke to increase. It didn't spoke to the business to increase the prices. So the business.
But that is an automatic. That is an automatic. It's
because they have to make money to pay the people.
They're gonna. It's.
But
if you understand how business truly works,
runs,
it's an automatic. It's it's gonna happen.
They're operating out of greed and want, not even need. Okay. The spending power that the people get is because it is weak to compare against the goods. The goods are in demand, but the cost to get the goods is hard, and that is what happened. But when business is going to take up, you all get more money to spend. All right, so we could raise our things. That is greed, and that is out of control. And everything, if government control the prices, because all these businesses, they are price gouging. This is gouging, and it's out of greed. Okay?
I've always said, and I reiterate, it is easy when you are vying for a position like you're trying to become an incumbent. It is easy for you to stand on the side and make all these critiques. When you're sitting in the hot seat, how do you resolve those issues? That is what we want to hear. I myself, we're tired of hearing what you people who want to be in political office doing the same thing all the time, criticizing what we know. We don't want critique. We don't just want critique. We want you to, after you criticize, give us solutions. Because other than that, you're doing what everybody has been doing, and when they get into power, they don't make no difference.
Quint, I ain't finished my point yet. And yes, you interject, which is an interruption. Yes.
But you always say that. You always say that. I always have to prompt you. Go ahead.
Well, that's where you're there for, because you are my master. You help me. Look here. This is what I will do. I will demand and I will mandate that no business increase the prices, knowing to the fact I'm giving the people spending power, because money.
No, but that's kind of like a dictatorship now, so you got to be very careful.
Sometimes we got to put down an iron foot. Sometimes we have to, because remember, things is running like the wild, wild west. Okay? And the wild, wild west one day will be under control. Okay? In my wild, wild west, there will be karma, order, and respect and dignity. Okay? I ain't going to tolerate that under my watch. Okay? When I criticize something, I will just put something into place to make it better for the people. I am for the people, I am for the business to function too, to supply. But the people are those who are caught up into this hardship. The business not.
Caller.
They could easily say we're going to do
Caller.
Yes, sir.
Here's what governments should be doing, should have been doing, and should continue to do. Before you get into power, like someone in your position should already be thinking out plans. You should already have contacts. Don't just come to us and be spitting rhetoric. You should already have people in certain places who can turn the cogs of finances to the extent that when you do get the reins of power, you can influence these people to create an environment that creates more jobs, better paying jobs for the people. That is what government should be doing, rather than saying, when we get in, we got people lining up to investors, but it's not true. Because when you get in, we don't see that. When you say, we have people line up to invest, it is a fact. So that when you get in, you truly have people line up to make investments, one. And you truly have people who have money too. Because another part is they have people lining up, they say to make investment, but they line up to go to our banks to get the money. We don't want that. We want you to have true investors who will come with their money, put in their money, because they already have a plan that is feasible and that will bring positive results to bring jobs into the country so that we can import whatever and export whatever. You understand? Imports and this is what you all have not been saying. You can't just say you're going to go in and mandate, you're going to increase or you don't pay that you can't do that. That is a creeping dictatorship.
I have a mandate and it go by playing it. Saying is little to what the manifestation will be. But the saying is equal to the manifestation without contradiction. Okay? All I know, I think it's need a good leader.
Sorry, oh boy. Caller, sorry, I did not have the conference button on, so when I pressed for the other caller, it automatically dropped him, and that is what has happened a few times this morning. My apologies. Now I have the conference call on, button on. Hello, caller.
Yes, greetings. Our friend in the States, he seems to don't understand how the system works. He's trying to implement the American system. Now, in America, any senator could introduce a bill.
Yeah.
In some cases, that cannot happen. Not even the opposition. It is impossible for the opposition to even get a bill.
You know?
So when he gonna demand this and demand that, I mean, as you say, that's dictatorship right there. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
our friend need to understand we operate under two different systems. You know, and he said he wants to be a representative, but he needs to study the system before he even start making these.
I keep trying to tell him to do that. I keep trying to tell him to do research, do serious research, because we can listen to him and we know how he would perform. Sadly.
You know, he sounds good, but what he's saying is totally impossible.
Yeah.
I mean, look at our system. All the bills come from the government side. In the U.S. system, any senator, any representative could introduce a bill.
Yeah.
That can happen in St. Kitts Nevis. So our friend, and I hope he makes sure he got all he that's and everything thing that when he leave he could get back in, because whether you got green card or not, they don't care, you know.
Yeah.
They're gonna detain you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And for all of those who like to run home to vote,
Oh boy.
they're gonna get a rude awakening.
Well, I think that will be decreased. I think for the upcoming election, depending on when it is and who is in power, we're going to see a decrease in that coming home to go back. Yeah.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Okay, my friend.
Okay,
All right,
my
thank
friend.
you.
Hello, caller.
In the U.S. system, any senator, any representative.
Hello, caller.
Yes, Quint. I acknowledge that you made a mistake with
Yes, my apologies.
Acknowledge.
Yeah.
Quint, I beg to differ. I shall not, I will never ever be a dictator. Never ever. I am all for the people and all hands are on deck. And it's we and us and all. Okay? This system needs to change. The system needs to change from the way of practicing every day. This system needs what will be called the meeting of the mind. The meeting of the mind, we are on a playing field. There will be opposition, and there should be opposition. But to make things better. So, in all my requests, in all my oration, in all my plea, okay, all hands shall be on deck. It's not about one man, Winston Welcome, because Winston Welcome could sound like a dictator. But we have to have opposition, and that is the key. I am not the one to fix everything to be perfect. What happened to the rest of the tongues? Okay? And I don't like when you sound like the rest of others. I have a different style to all what style is in St. Kitts. I have my style, but my style only shall not accepted. We need everyone. I will speak to the common man. I will invite the common man, should needs be, so we could make this. We can't go wrong this time. We cannot go wrong this time. But I will close there, because I know time is of the essence.
Yeah.
But I meant good for the Federation. St. Kitts and Nevis. I will never ever leave out Nevis. And I will never leave out St. Kitts. What I'm doing is for all of us. Sound good is what? But we need to break the system that is there and move forward for the best.
Yeah.
So all man's happy, because we are all equal. And dignity, okay? Dignity is what? Needed, we're born with it. And I will say, my motto is, my dignity is your dignity, and your dignity is mine. That's what God gave us, and no man shall eradicate that. Thank you for hearing me. Bye for now.
Okay. Hello, caller.
Quint?
Yes.
Very sorry, but
Again, be brief.
yes, I'm going to be brief. No, Quint, as you correctly said, small businesses, the
let's
backbone
let's
of any
let's
economy.
let's not always revisit the same thing, because again, there are different
Yeah, yeah,
issues.
yeah,
But
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
going to let you make a brief statement on it. But
Mhm.
that's one of the things I don't want. You're a brilliant person, Greg. So there's a lot of things going on in your head. So don't always go back and revisit the same thing. We could
No, no, no,
we
no,
can
no. I'm going to give you the
exhaust
price control.
we can exhaust a point to death. So yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead.
I'm going to deal with the price control as well, because I also mentioned that a little bit earlier.
And be brief.
Price,
Yeah.
yes, price control along with government enforced price control along with government enforced minimum wages are the Jason X and Chucky's of economics. Now, as you correctly said, small businesses are the backbone of any economy. That is so true. Now, you have to remember when where small businesses are concerned, especially when they have to pay out no extra money because of raising minimum wage, they have to make back that. And trust me, many do not make it back because you increase after turnover.
Yeah.
But if you do not have the economy where your turnover has increased, you are actually losing, which is normally the case for
Yes.
small businesses.
Yeah. Yes.
And they go out of business very quickly.
Very quickly.
Now, what I'm saying, when you do price control, it's going to cause, and it always causes, shortages, black markets, increasing unemployment as you chase small businesses out of business and that sort of stuff. The biblical solution, which is the only solution, is simply economically and financially to increase the spending power of the dollar. Increase the spending power of the dollar. That's the only way to go to help black people financially, economically, and that is the biblical way of doing things. Increasing minimum wages, price control, all of those sort of stuff goes against the Bible. That's why they don't work. That is why they are so detrimental and dangerous and destructive. They go against the Bible. Thank you very much.
Okay. Do you have anything you want to state, Hortensia?
But I thought he would have been for the quote unquote less fortunate poor people.
Well, I don't see anything wrong in what he just said. The only thing is when he keeps repeating that to go the biblical way. We know everyone is not going to go the biblical way.
No, exactly.
So
We
that
would love
is-
that,
yeah,
but that's not the
yeah.
case. But how can people... I don't understand.
But that point he made about increasing the spending power of the dollar, it is a salient point. That fits into what I was saying about making sure you get proper investors who will make proper
Use their money and not our money.
Yeah, and for instance, 2 more hotels come here and people get more money. That's increasing your spending power because it means more money added to what is now circulating in the economy, and that is what you want. You understand? Someone coming and investing in things to do with tourism and on the beaches and these different rides and all those kind of stuff, and making sure that they use their money, but to do the business, but our people get employed, and so they make more money. Yeah. That's what we want. So this is when people are in opposition, you're not just in opposition to oppose. You're supposed to build up yourself to the point where you have contacts. Do your research, have contacts. It's like, for instance, I'm here, I'm unemployed, I go on the internet, I do some research, I find out that there are X amount of businesses out there who sell X amount of product at X amount at certain prices that I know if I import those products here, I can get them through customs, so that when I make a profit, people can get these products at a markdown price. You understand?
Yeah.
And so I go and I borrow some money from a few family and a certain amount from the bank. I contact these internet corporations and I say, I'm going to import X amount, I bring in a half a trailer load of stuff. I invest in opening up a business. I employ about 10, 20 people. And the business is making money. That is what we want, you understand? But it couldn't have happened if I didn't do research. If I didn't realize that there were competitive prices out there, are things out there that I could sell here at competitive prices. You understand what I'm saying? You don't just say, well, I'm going to open up a business and it's going to be profitable. No, you have to find out if those businesses exist. And by the time you import, deal with customs, and you put it on your shelves, what kind of markup will you be able to put on it, on the product? These are things you have to research. And the same with people in politics. If we've seen the same old, you just feel that all you need to do is to criticize the government. No, do research. Find out if there are businesses out there, people out there who will be willing to invest. Get in touch with them before you get into office. Say, look, my name is so and so and so. I'll be running for so and so and so. I don't know if I'll be successful, but I realize you have this business. You understand? Suppose I get into power. Do you think that I'll be able to contact you and you come and you put a business here? Send to me a format of what kind of business, how much people you'll be able to employ. You understand what I'm saying?
But do you think the part where the government's money, our money, comes into play is something that they may have offered them? We can lend you this amount if you bring this amount?
But you shouldn't do that.
Okay.
That is what I'm saying.
But I was just wondering if that's something
you shouldn't do that. You reach out to people. Look, you see all these car businesses and different businesses and whatever. How you think we get them? We get them because people go on the internet, research, find them, and realize that what they're selling at, they can bring them in and compete internally. That's what they do. So that's what governments, people who have the potential to go into government should do. Reach out there, say, look, when you reach out, let's hypothetically, you reach out to 20 people. You understand? Out of those 20 people, you might find 7 of them might be really serious. You understand? Because remember, you're not a prophet, you don't know how things are going to work out, but you're doing your research. So when you do get into power now, you now reach out to them. This is where the proof is in the pudding now, because of the 20 people that you dealt with, you're going to find only 7 of them are willing to really come with their money. The rest of them were trying to think.
Some kind of incentive the government.
Yes, so you start to weed them out now. Mind you, the people don't know this. This is your thing behind the works. You understand? You were doing your research. Now you get in power. You had promised the people, I'm going to make sure I bring investment. Well, now you get in power, you start to feel. So these 7 companies, you don't go and you bang your mouth about them. You understand? You say blah 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 blah. They say well so and so blah 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 blah. And by the time now they're saying, okay, we're ready to come in on the 25th of August, so and so and so. Then you say to the people, okay, we have some potential investors. Use the word potential. We have the word some potential investors. They're going to be coming. We foresee that there might be X amount of jobs opening up and so forth, because you've done your research. These people are legitimate. So by the time they come and you see the infrastructure going down, you understand, and blah, blah, blah. Now the people are thinking, wow, okay, So by the time you go and you cut the ribbon, to open the business, bam. No, you don't have to go and be trying to get bribes or under the table and that kind of stuff, because you have 7 legitimate business that you research that are underground now, and these governments don't do that.
I think you need to change your job and become an advisor, because you just spewed some very, very good points. So, So, to the Powers Be, if you're listening, Quintus available.
Caller. I don't want to advise nobody. Yeah. Hello, caller.
Caller, good morning.
They have a brain in their head. Hello,
but
caller.
Yours seems to be working very, very well.
To the audience, to the listeners and Brother Quinton Contensia again.
Hortensia.
Let me tell you. Let me be brief.
Yeah.
I have made mention that I am in it for this upcoming election. I don't need no sponsor from no business. I don't need no business money. I will come in as I am with my own money. But I am not going to buy a vote, and I don't want no influence from any business for favor. Okay? None. I am in it, and I'm welcoming other independents to come in. I don't know what will be their plan, but I, for one, Winston, welcome. I don't need to be influenced. I don't need to be tainted. I don't need to be washed. in anybody's blood.
But Mr. Welcome, I hear you on
Yes.
that. I hear you on
Mhm.
that. But when you come, when you come, what else? What else do you
And you're
bring?
a soul man. You don't have a
Yeah.
party to say you
What
can
what
hope
else
that
do
your
you
party
bring?
wins.
I remain optimistic. Business will come.
You see?
Business will come.
Mm-mm.
I
But you
don't
didn't
know
hear
where
the
the
whole.
Muslim-
You didn't hear the whole speech Quint had just now that made plenty sense.
Yes, but like I said, I don't know what the future. But business will come. Resilience will come. Dignity is there. And
No, the
The
people
goodness-
don't want will come. You know, I know your name is welcome. The people don't want will come. They want to know
I
that
like
it will
that.
be there.
I like that.
Yeah.
Welcome. Don't brush me. Listen.
No,
it
we're
is
not
there,
rushing
it's
you. I'm
just-
just telling you.
It's no brush.
Yeah.
Not brush.
Yeah.
Look, listen. Everything that's supposed to be will come from the goodness of God, who I strongly believe in, and I have my faith in. I'm not saying I'm Moses, but there will be deliverance. Deliverance, and I am passionate, and I embrace that, and that's what I believe. But all of us are in it together.
Okay.
All of us injection are needed, and it's a necessity. Like we breathe fresh air, and we need water.
Yeah, but you
That's how I look at
realize
the Holy Ghost.
when you're a soul man on the opposition, you don't really get much to do much, you know.
Yeah.
So you really had to come with your own. You realize that, right? I'm not trying to discourage you, but I'm just telling you the fact that you don't have a whole party like, let's say, Labour and PLP and PAM, it's gonna be hard for you being the sole
Let me
man if
define
you
that
win where you're running.
Contagia. Let me
No,
tell you
no,
my definition.
Cortensia. I'm not Fantasia at all. Cortensia.
Caller. I'm gonna tell you this. This again shows how well you listen. Cortensia. I don't want you to keep, because you see, all of these are things I look at to show me how keen a person is in terms of listening and hearing.
Spoiling my beautiful name.
You know, women don't like you messing up their names and so forth. So every time you say her name wrong, she cringes. You understand what I'm saying? So
Let me make amends to it. Hortensia.
Yes,
yes.
it starts with a K, not a C, not a H. Thank you.
K.
Yeah, K. Cortensia.
K-O-R.
Yeah,
Yeah.
K-O-R.
Okay.
See, you got it.
Yeah, I got it. All right. Like I said, let me define my independent concept. I go in as a one man, and it takes one step to make a million miles. And the million miles will come and beyond. I set the example. Hello?
yeah,
We're
we're
listening.
We're listening to you, and
I-
I'm thinking
It is
to
the
myself.
open door. It is the open window, open door for others to follow. It's not all about Winston Welcome now, because Winston Welcome cannot run the government alone. Okay? What happened to if a PAM candidate win his seat? What happened to if a Labour candidate win their seat?
you
What
look at
happened if a
enjoying up.
CPM candidate
Yeah,
win their
I
seat?
know.
We all
I
have
said
to
that
collaborate.
already. You know, I said that already.
We all have to collaborate, but will they want to collaborate? You have to think about a lot of things, you know. And as I said, I'm not trying to discourage you.
Like
You
I said,
have
this
to.
week, it's us. We're going to debate who will be the leader, just like how PLP.
If they want to debate.
Just like how unity government chose Mr. Harris. That's what it's going to be. And it's going to be a coalition government. And we
We
all
have
got to be
seen
real.
many of coalition governments around the world fall apart, including my native country, where the
What is to be will be, but we hope
Okay.
it will not be with this election.
Okay,
We
caller,
got to be
wrap up.
optimistic.
Okay, caller, wrap
Okay,
up.
caller, yeah, wrap up. We're at that time where we have to go.
Yeah.
I am hoping for the best. And I'm not going to say I expect the worst.
Okay.
I am hoping for the best. And I know a coalition government will run St. Kitts and Nevis. And I know a coalition government shall make it right without any kind of defection again. And we move forward. Let's just pray for that, because we need the goodness and the substance that we are also in need of.
Right.
Thank you. I will leave you there again. I hope we can. And last but not least, I am calling for that debate. And I hope there are no cowards who will back down. or have excuse not to.
All
We
right.
all should have a debate. Thank you.
All right, thank you. So
Before you go, Hortensia,
you mashing it up like him now? You're letting him influence my name?
I said Hortensia. If I said anything else, maybe I got stumped by
I
him.
know, that's what I'm saying. Don't let him make you
Yeah.
mash up my name now.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
So,
Quinn.
My apologies, Hortensia.
Mhm.
He keeps saying he wants a debate. A debate. This is why I keep saying to him, do your research, take up a dictionary, build up your vocabulary so that you can articulate in a manner. With all due respect, I don't see where he can, let's say he comes up against Prime Minister Drew. I don't see where he can win a debate.
Win the debate, no.
I don't.
It'll have to be a salacious way for him to win, but no, I
Yeah.
don't think he could win a debate against the Prime Minister.
You're being
he hasn't
realistic.
proven that to us just yet.
No.
Yeah.
So my.
And we're not trying to discredit you, okay, sir? We're just trying to help
my thing
you.
is,
Mhm.
everyone has potential, but you must build on what you have.
Yeah.
If you're coming to the people and you're saying, this is what I want, this is what you want, while you're thinking of being able to achieve something, work on it.
Yeah. Because they may not take him seriously when they hear how you present. They'll be like,
that's it.
I ain't going to win that debate hands down. That's advantageous. Why would I do that?
Let me show you an example. I grew up in Connery Village. You hear me say I'm an electrical engineer. If you go into Connery Village and you speak to any of the older folks in Connery Village and you say, Trevor, for Miss Laurie, they will tell you how I was growing up in terms of electrical equipment. If you have some, Miss Laurie, boy, I could fix it. You understand? So, you understand what I'm saying? It's something you progress on over time.
You build on. Your notoriety becomes known.
At the age of 12 years old, you go up and you look under somebody's house and you see an old radio under there, under the house, and you say, give me that radio. And then they say, what you want with the radio? Why do you want the radio ain't good? But you take it home and you do it, and next thing you know, they pass by your house and they hear it playing.
They want back the radio.
But I took a big set, big set, powerful amp from down. There was a business place on the beach in Connery, called it the Strand, and they had, the sea blast, the salt, eroded a lot of the internal parts. So they had it thrown down, and I said to them, I could fix that, And they say, no, and I said, so I told the guy to give it to me. So I took it home, put the hose on it to wash away all of the salt and so forth. Well, when the hose wash away the salt, it's going to wash away some of the parts too. So nobody thought I could fix it. Lo and behold, I fixed it because I got the parts, the resistors, blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, I'm playing it home, big powerful amplifier in my home. The owner for the restaurant, who was in the Virgin Islands, came back home, heard that Miss Laurie boy had he amp up there, walking. The man come knocking on my mother door and say, he amp. So I came out and I said to him, I said, oh, you want your amp? He said, I said, well, okay. So you're going to pay me for the parts that I bought and so forth. You're going to pay me for my work and blah, 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 blah. He went, I kept the amp. But my point is, I worked on things over time, long before I reached where I went to do a degree. So if you want to be a politician, don't wait until 5 years before you're running to come to us. And when we listen to you, we're not too impressed. You should have been working on this long ago.
Yeah, so we know about you.
Yeah, so when we hear you, we say, oh, that's welcome. Okay, boy, I know he got these ambitions a long time. Boy, he's articulate. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So you have some notices to read?
Yep. So the first, St. Kitts and Nevis, are you ready to take control of your financial future? Join the UTC Global Balance Fund Limited for a free personal finance and investing webinar on Tuesday, July 8th from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. via Zoom. Learn from financial expert Omar Burt Smith and Tricia Ann Henry as they break down the power of investing and introduce the UTC Global Balance Fund Limited. Seats are limited. Secure your free spot now. Simply email us at info@utc gbfl.com to register today. So I repeat that email address for those of you who are writing. It's info@utcgblfl.com to register today. Don't miss this chance to unlock your financial potential. And the 42nd St. Kitts and Nevis Anniversary of Independence, Perpetual Progress, A Sustainable Future in View, Independence 42, calls for 2025 National Honors Award nominations. The Prime Minister's Office wishes to inform the general public that the 2025 National Honors Award nomination forms are now available at the security desk at Government Headquarters, Church Street. The forms are to be completed and accompanied by a detailed profile of the nominee and their contributions and submitted to the Cabinet Secretariat that's at the Prime Minister's Office, Government Headquarters, Church Street, Bastille. Nominations can also be submitted online via https forms.gle3gwpf97 X4ZFBL6QPA. So deadline for submission Thursday, July 31st, 2025. And the physical nomination forms, as we said, can be collected at the security desk at Government Headquarters, Church Street. And they said each nomination must include a completed form and a detailed profile highlighting the nominee's contribution to St. Kitts and Nevis. Once again, July 31st is the submissions. And remember, tickets are on sale at tickets.windies.com. So you can go there and get your windiescricket.com. You can go there and get your tickets. And let's support the gentlemen in maroon as they play the second test series as Australia tours the Windies in Grenada. Yeah.
Okay. And that's the way we're going to conclude Island Tea for today. We had had a call I would have entertained, but they didn't have the patience. They held for a while and then they hung up. So any closing remarks, Hortensia?
Just to have a good day. Be mindful on the road. Take it easy. We're all going to get there. Remember, if you're late, you can't fly. Let's just all be mindful that we're all in this together, using the road together, and we can all be safe together.
Yeah, and let me thank you for 2 times correcting me in terms of time running out. Like, I don't know.
Is your clock skipping over there?
No, not really. I don't know if I look at it and my eyes deceive me, and but thanks for being my good, dependable co-host.
That's why we're here.
Who keeps me on track, okay?
Yeah.
And do take care to the listening audience. Continue to have a great day and a great life.
Found the sound 98.9 FM.
Campari, Red Passion. Embrace the mix.
Campari, Red Passion, full action, this is Red Passion. Embrace the mix, add Campari, make it turn and twist.